were still on the apps at the beginning of this. Maybe you'd even updated your profile with a Trey topical joke about coronavirus, which you've since deleted. That happened right around when it got closer to home. You had one last first date planned. You were going to go out to dinner, but then the restaurants became takeout only. So you agreed to go for a walk, and then you were ordered to shelter in place. Netflix and chill seemed a bit aggressive for a first date, so you agreed to postpone. Until after. After, at the time, seemed like a couple of weeks. At least that's what you were allowing yourself to hope. 2 weeks without going on a date? Hell, that happens even in good times. You could do 2 weeks standing on your head. So you shelve the idea for a moment and get on to more pressing things. Like everyone else, you head to the grocery stores and pharmacies to stock up, but you've got an advantage. There's just one mouth to feed. You buy rice for one, cans of soup for one, vitamins for one, frozen treats for one. You've got enough to subsist for a month without your stomach growling, and you haven't even filled your cart or emptied your wallet. You didn't need to worry that there are no more diapers or baby wipes. You didn't have to scramble to find a medication for your partner. You got what you needed and got out. As everybody begins working from home, you hear reports from your friends with kids, and they sound like unredacted dispatches from the front lines. They struggle to get anything done, to find a quiet moment. They make rushed phone calls during nap time. Some of their kids chose this moment to give up nap time. Suddenly, they're in charge of their kids' schooling, too. They must play entertainer and caregiver, nurturing, educating, and giving comfort to a tyrant in Velcro shoes while simultaneously trying to remain a productive contributor at work. You, on the other hand, haven't worn pants in 3 days, even for your office's video conference. You just put on a nice shirt, made sure the camera was angled above your waist. You sly dog. You don't have to make sure anybody but yourself is getting enough exercise. You don't have to figure out who will watch your tiny human when you want to step out and get some fresh air. You might even allow yourself to feel ever so slightly smug as you read these stories from your haggard friends. That smugness will dissolve into pathos in the next few days. When this began, you thought that if you were good about social distancing for 12 days, then maybe you could find someone who has also been social distancing for 12 days, and it would be safe for you to get together. 2 people emerge from their separate biospheres and find love in the time of corona. But as the news reports trickle in, and you realize this has only just begun to ramp up, that 12-day figure feels shamefully naive. You worry that your would-be dates are still being a bit too casual. Maybe you suspect they're still getting too close to other people or not washing their hands enough. Maybe it's that they're still physically going into work and maybe coming into contact with others who are not taking all of the precautions. You imagine having a strange parallel universe STD talk, except instead of inquiring about sexual partners, you ask with whom they've merely been within 6 feet of in the last 2 weeks, and did they use protection? Masks? Hand sanitizer? Elbow bumps? You aren't especially prone to paranoia, but the long incubation period of COVID-19 makes you suspect everyone, as if they're unwittingly harboring invisible assassins. And you think, one of those killers could come from my mom. So, you resign yourself to go it alone, for the sake of your health and your communities and your families. And that's when the loneliness floods your world. In truth, it's been seeping in for days, but you had managed to ignore it with the promise of relief coming soon. But once you've accepted that there's no rescue in sight, you're forced to take stock. Now, social media looks different through your eyes. You see couples cuddled up on the couch, scared but together, physically connected. Your married friends with kids are planting a tiny garden, holding hands as they hike up snowy hills, cooking together, having dance parties. You have a virtual dinner with your dear friend couple, and they kiss before they clink glasses and drink. And you think about your last kiss. And you wonder when your next one will be. You wonder when you'll go on another date, have sex again, hold hands, or even share a good, long hug. You wonder if you'll ever fall in love again, and if they'll love you back. You wonder if you'll get to see your mom and dad, or aunt and uncle, or grandma or grandpa again, and hold them in your arms. You might even find yourself jealous of your friends with roommates for once. You may be good at being alone, but even experts have bad days. And that's okay. It's important that you let yourself be bad at it sometimes, that you honor your feelings of sadness, loneliness, anger, and despair. They are all part of a river of emotions, and any attempt to stop them from coming is futile. Your dam will break. You must let it, all of it, flow through you. It will all come and go over and over again. The excitement, the smugness, the fear, the sorrow, the relief. And so, you breathe. And you keep breathing. You reach out to friends more than usual. You exercise. You call your family. You get some fresh air. You fantasize about past lovers and future ones. You realize you can wait this out until after. And one day at a time, you find the ways to fill your heart.
Alone in the night, sober, be mine. Hey, tree.